Alright, hello, my name is Jonathan, and today we're going to do a disassembly and a reassembly of the Smart Parts Vibe. The tools required to disassemble a Smart Parts Vibe are a 1/8 inch Allen wrench, a 5/16 inch Allen wrench, Phillips screwdriver, paintball lubrication, extra O-rings, microfiber cloth towel, and a barrel swab. So the first two things you need to make sure before you start to disassemble a gun is to make sure it's degassed, and simply making sure of that is double checking there's not a tank attached to the gun. And the second part is to make sure the gun is off. So now that we have confirmed these two things, we can remove the barrel and set that aside. I like to start by removing the ASA and the regulator assembly. To do that, you need to remove the two screws right here. Once you got those two screws taken out, you can remove the regulator by simply just unscrewing it like that. And there's the assembly. You can set that aside for now. Next, I like to take off the grip. And there are 4 screws on the grip, 2 on each side. Start by the side with the power button on it. Once you remove that, you can take out the battery. And then flip it over to take out the other side. Alright, once that's removed, you can just simply take off the grip. Next, I like to take off the bolt. And take out the bolt in the rear of the gun. Take your 5/16 Allen wrench and unscrew it. Now when you remove the bolt, just the bolt sleeve will come out, and the front bolt end will still be attached, will still be in the gun. And to take that out, you just grab your barrel swab and push it from the front end. And there's the bolt. Next, we're going to be removing the grip frame using your 1/8 inch Allen wrench. Remove the 2 screws that are located from the front end. Once you remove those 2 screws, pry off the back end first and then the front, making sure you don't damage any of the board. The wires is exposed, and feed the battery wire through that hole that's in the grip frame. And then once you remove the grip frame, make sure that button's still inside there. It's a really small piece and it can be easily lost. Okay, and here's the main body of the gun. And next we're going to be removing the board. And to do that, you need to start by removing that silver screw at the top of the gun. Once that's removed, there are 2 screws located right here, and this holds the board in. Alright, there's the board, and there's the main body. Alright, so this is a complete disassembled Smart Parts Vibe. Alright, so this is the reassembly for the Smart Parts Vibe. The first thing you want to do is to reattach the board. And before you reattach it, make sure there isn't any damaged parts in it. There are 2 O-rings located here and here, and make sure those 2 O-rings are in good condition. And there are O-rings on the actual screw. Most of the time these O-rings are in good condition, so that you don't really need to check on those. But if they are in bad condition, simply just replace those. And make sure the hoses are in good condition and the wire. Once you inspect that and confirm that it was good, reattach it by putting it back on the same place and tightening the 2 screws. Alright. And one tip, you never want to torque down a screw, you always want to just hand tighten it. If you torque it down, it can damage parts. So grab the silver screw and screw them. Alright, once that's all screwed in, we can start by grabbing the grip frame, making sure the button's still attached, and feed the battery wire in first. Alright, once you got the battery wire fed through, put the front end in first and then the back end. It should just easily slide in. Grab the 2 black screws and screw down the grip frame. Alright, once you got those 2 tightened down, you can go ahead and reattach the grip and the battery. Start by screwing on the right side of the gun, or the side that doesn't have the button on it. Once you got that side finished, reattach the battery and then screw the other half in. Alright, once we got this done, we can move on to the maintenance part of the gun. When you want to maintenance the gun, you only really need to take off the bolt and make sure the O-ring on the regulator is good. And so start with off this, wipe off any dirt or any dust that's on here, and grab a little bit of lube and lube up the O-ring that's right here. Once that's good, you can screw on the regulator and then screw on the ASA. Alright. After you got that finished, you can set the actual gun aside for now and pay attention to the bolt. Alright, so this is the bolt assembly. This bolt has 3 parts to it. There's the bolt sleeve, the bolt stop, and the actual bolt itself. On the bolt, there are 3 O-rings, one right there, and then one in the back. To start off, wipe it down and make sure you get all the old grease and old lubrication off of it, and re-lube the O-rings. You don't need that much lube because this gun runs off of, because this gun is a spool, have just enough lube is what I meant to say. Then wipe off the stop, and there's actually 2 O-rings on this, one on the inside and one on the outside. Lightly lube both of them and slide the stop in the back of the bolt. Once that's done, here is the bolt sleeve. There are 2 O-rings right here and an O-ring in the back. Lube those 2 up, and that should be good. Slide the back of the bolt into the sleeve, and that is your bolt assembly fully maintained. We're gonna grab your gun and slide in the bolt assembly in the back of the gun. Give it a little push and it should go right in. Use your 5/16 Allen wrench and screw it in. And to clean the barrel, look inside of it. I don't know if this is focused on the barrel or not. You need to check inside of it, and if it's not clean, get your barrel swab and run it through a couple times. And it should give you a nice finish. And then to reattach the barrel. Alright, so that was a complete disassembly and a reassembly of the Smart Parts Vibe. But the last thing you need to make sure before using this marker in the field is to make sure you did it properly and it's functioning right. And to do that, we simply just shoot a couple rounds to it. And so stay tuned for that. Alright, so I just aired up the gun. It's not leaking. And I have a
a hopper full of paintballs, and so we're going to test it out. And thank you.